Good evening. Good afternoon. How you doing today? How you doing today? Are you fired up today?
Yes.
Are you fired up today?
Yes.
All right. Okay, let me begin by doing a little exercise, okay? Here we go. When I say Budlong, you say pool. When I say don't downsize, you say Budlong Pool, okay? Here we go. Don't downsize,
Budlong Pool.
save,
Budlong Pool.
fix,
Budlong Pool.
restore.
Budlong Pool.
Hey, you got it, right? All right. So before I start, let me remind you today is International Self-Care Day. Do you know what that means? Self-Care Day. International Self-Care Day today. So I want to remind everybody, the administration, that Budlong Pool is critical for self-care. Right?
Yes.
International Self-Care Day is dedicated to the importance of loving our own self and taking care of the mind and the body. We know and we are certain that Budlong Pool could be a place, a great place, right, for our children, youths, elders to enhance their self-care and enjoy fun times with friends and family in a cool place. But we don't have it, right? Anyway, happy International Self-Care Day to you all.
Thank you.
I want to thank every one of you for taking the time in your busy schedule to be here at this time of the day. Okay, noon today. Thank you for being here. I want to thank the member of the press for the coverage of Budlong Pool as always. Today is an advocacy day in Cranston. It is unfortunate that we have to fight for what we should have like any other municipality, such as Warwick and Providence. There is no mystery that Budlong Pool was closed due to the COVID-19 pandemic. However, 3 years later, we still don't have a pool.
That's right.
Based on the many inconsistencies, I asked the administration if there is a plan for Budlong Pool. City Council allocate $4 million from federal money, ARPA funds, to fix Budlong Pool. To fix Budlong Pool, to restore it, to renovate it. The money is there. There's no problem of money. Still today, nothing is tangible. I want to call on Mayor Hopkins to listen to our constituents. Their needs are supposed to be the priority, not his wants. Cranston residents spoke. They want to keep the current size of Budlong Pool.
Yes.
They want Budlong Pool to be operational next summer.
Yes.
Isn't that simple?
Yes.
I want to make it clear to Mayor Hopkins, contrary to what he believes, this is not political. This is not personal. I am doing the job I was elected to do. So asking the hard questions and demanding that the administration work for all the people in Cranston and be transparent is not political. I like to ask the mayor to please cut the nonsense. When they had summer heats, as it has been already this year, it does not recognize or accept anyone with a certain political affiliation. It is our duty to make sure our constituents enjoy the quality of life they deserve. Quality of life includes taking care of self-care. Taking care of self in mind and body. I did not want to believe that Budlong Pool issue was tied to the legacy of the segregation. But as I witness how this story unfolds, I am skeptical now. However, I don't recall that Mayor Hopkins run on a platform that includes stripping away Budlong Pool. He won on the continuation of the former Allen Fong platform. So keeping and maintaining our Budlong Pool is the only thing that we demand. Fix, restore, and don't downsize our pool. I hope Mayor Kenneth Hopkins listen and do the right thing. Thank you.
Thank you. My name's Karen Malcolm. I'm a resident of the city of Cranston and have been for about 23 years. There's 3 issues that I want to address today in terms of the whole issue around Budlong Pool. The first one is just how this pool is a point of pride. I realize when I meet people from out of the city or I have friends visiting from out of town and we're talking about why we love living in this city, Budlong Pool is on the list. It's near the top of the list. So, you know, the issue of its size, the issue of its history, and the mechanism by which that pool pulls us together. And I think that the layout of the pool and the size of the pool and the need to restore the pool as it exists is part of that. As an older woman, I'm 63 now, my daughter, who is also a Cranston resident, in 2019, she and I, with our beach chairs, went on over to the pool on several super hot days, the 2 of us together as adults. We got to set those chairs up in between rambunctious teens having a great time dive bombing into the pool and clusters of moms with little ones who were helping teach their kids to swim and cooling off, and yet feel comfortable and a part of the community. It's one of the places where you just really got to feel a sense of our community, the diversity of our community, the depth of range of people who care about and love and enjoy that benefit to the community. So Aniece talked about this being Self-Care Day. My career is in health policy. And there's an important mechanism in health policy that we understand is critical to people's well-being, and that's labeled social determinants of health. So a person's access to clean, green spaces, to quality, safe avenues for exercise and community engagement is a critical indicator of the health and well-being of individual residents of a community. To me, that's another third important point in regards to the Budlong Pool, that it is a place where people can practice self-care, engage with their community, and feel stronger and prouder as a resident of this city. So please, Mayor Hopkins, just do the right thing. Restore that pool, get it open for our kids, for our elders, for our families. Let's all meet up at the pool again next summer. Thanks.
Hey everyone, can you hear me? Yep. Good? All right. My name is John Donegan. I'm honored to represent the Ward 3 on the Cranston City Council. And before I give some brief remarks, I just want to ask everyone here, who here has a fond memory of the Budlong Pool? Who here wants to create making memories at the Budlong Pool? Everyone. As a lifelong Cranston resident, I have fond memories growing up, going to the Budlong Pool. Both of my parents were high school teachers, and my dad, we would spend almost every day at the Budlong Pool, my brother and I, swimming, meeting friends, riding our bikes there after playing baseball, cooling off on hot days like today, which we know are only increasing. It's where I took some of my first swim lessons. It's where my wife took some of her first swim lessons. And as we and our family are growing, and we're expecting our first later this year, I want to be able to continue creating those memories with our family in the years to come. So I want to ensure that our youth, our children, our families, and our community continue to have a space to meet, to engage with one another, as Karen just said, to cool off in our increasing and warming summers. The City Council has done our job. We have passed a resolution last year calling for ARPA funds to be used to fix the Budlong Pool. And in this most current budget, we put $4 million of ARPA funds to fix the Budlong Pool. So respectfully to the mayor and to the administration, you have the money. Let's get the job done and let's get the Budlong Pool open.
My name is Steve Stikos, and I'm here. This is not the first time this has happened, but there's been a problem with the pool. In 2010, there were huge floods in Cranston, and the pool was flooded. And I was then elected to the city council, and Emilio Navarro was the representative from Ward 2, and he pushed with our help for the pool to be opened after these floods, which flooded the pool. So that happened. That was able to be accomplished just a few years ago. And now I just don't understand why we can't restore the pool, something that was built in 1940. What is that? 80 years ago. And suddenly it has to be smaller. It doesn't make any sense to me. So, but I'm also here for my own self-interest. I run a farm, and in the summer it gets hot. And I really like being able to leave the farm and get to the pool and be told by a teenage worker that I have to take a shower before I go in the pool. And I take my shower and I enjoy the pool. And I think as Karen was saying, the beauty of the pool is largely in its size, because at one end, the deep end, the teenagers hang out there, right? And at the other end, we have all the little kids of all different sizes and shapes and colors, and they're having a good time. And then in the middle, there's this demilitarized zone where you can, just as an adult, swim back and forth and have a good time and cool off. So I want the pool to be open for my own benefit and for the city's benefit, and it is truly wonderful to be there and see the diversity of people who use the pool. There are women in hijabs, the headscarf, and there are people of all different colors enjoying the pool. And that is an unmeasurable benefit that the pool provides, and we all need to keep that. Thank you.
Hello. My name is Robert Ferri. I am a citywide council person, and I am just so pleased that the people of Cranston have come together to do what I call, this is a movement. Yeah. You want to be heard? You're being heard. I saw an interview on Channel 10 last night, and it wasn't the mayor, it wasn't me, it wasn't Aniece, it wasn't all the council people. It was two citizens of this city speaking their mind about the pool. And that's what makes me excited, that it wasn't just me crying out or Aniece. I've always felt that fixing the existing pool was the plan from the beginning. I haven't changed my mind. You can go back 2 years, check all the council meeting minutes. I always felt that was the plan, and it still should be the plan, and I'm glad that you people feel the same way. So now, at this time, we're going to take that petition up to the mayor's office, and we're going to offer it to him. So I think Susan wants to say a couple of words first.
Say when we come back.
She's going to say a couple of words. We don't want you to leave, though. We're going to deliver the petition upstairs. We'll be just a couple of minutes.
We're going to keep hearing from members of the community while the petition is being delivered, and then we're going to hear how it went.
Good afternoon. My name is Tom Wojcik, Cranston resident. Good afternoon. All right, got to speak from the top. Good afternoon. My name is Tom Wojcik, Cranston resident. I've never gone to the pool, never been there. Unfortunately, I grew up with my 2 daughters in other states who went to community pools, and it was a blessing. They both wound up swimming in college and doing well. But the thing that has aggravated me most about this whole project is the lack of interest on the part of our city government to not listen to the community. I've been going to council meetings for over 10 years. And every time I went there, when a business was there to soften up the council, and they always got a fair hearing. They were able to provide slides. They were able to talk and meet privately and go on and on and on. But when it's time for the citizens to speak up and to be heard, it's a very difficult process. We need this action right now, not only for the pool, but for our community. The community speaks. They are our representatives. They need to listen to us, work together, and create something that we will all enjoy. Thank you.
Hello, can you hear me? Yes. My name is Kathy. I have lived in Cranston my whole life, 46 years, and I remember going to the pool with my grandmother, and we walked. She could not swim, but she loved the pool because it started at 2 feet, and she felt safe. And she felt safe, can you hear me? Yep. And she felt safe watching me and my younger sister. Can you hear me?
Yes.
She felt safe watching me and my younger sister because she didn't swim and there were so many lifeguards there. That is the beauty of the pool. I taught my son, who is now 10 and a half, how to swim in that pool. For the past 4 years, I've had to say to him every summer when he says to me, "Mommy, is the pool going to be open again this summer?" "I'm sorry, honey, the pool is not open." "Why, Mom?" And I said, and I honestly try to teach him respect, but I don't have a respectful answer because I've gotten more and more worked up as the summers have gone along. So it needs to be saved for all the city of Cranston, and it needs to be kept at the size that it is. Thank you very much.
Unfortunately, the mayor was not in his office, and someone in his administration took the petition from us, and we were a little disappointed that he didn't get to meet with us. So at this time, I'd like to turn the microphone over to Susan Blake.
Hi, everybody. Good to see everyone here. Right up close. I'd like to thank everybody for coming out today. I know it's hot and sweaty, but I think that's really worth it today. And I just want to say that my own personal experience with the pool, it goes back 26 years, 26 glorious summers of enjoying it myself, teaching my daughter how to swim and dive there, teaching other people, other friends how to swim there, just chilling at the pool. You know how it is. Meet me at the pool. Let's jump in the deep end. I want to feel the rush of the cold water, take the breath out of me, and then surface again and have the hot sun bake me. That's my pool. That's our pool. That's what I miss, and that's what I want back, and that's why I'm fighting so hard. So, we have close to 2,000 signatures right now versus last month, which was 1,000. So we have a lot of gratitude to a lot of other people who are offering up their mailing lists and sending out stuff on our behalf, and we're very, very grateful because that's how we're able to reach so many more people. And that's what the pool is really about. It's about reaching as many people to come and enjoy it. You know, there's no replacing that pool. You can make it smaller, you're just going to reduce the amount of people that are going to be able to enjoy it. Right. Because in the last census, kids 1 to 9 years old only made up 9% of the population. So if you shrink it down to fit little kids, you're cutting out 92%, 91% of the population. Who wants to stand around in a wading pool? I'm sorry, and 5 feet is not a pool. So anyway, somebody else asked me to read something on their behalf. They say, as a lifetime Cranston resident and a multi-season Budlong Pool pass holder, I strongly advocate to preserve the existing size of Budlong Pool, which would often reach max capacity while serving our 80,000 plus residents. I'd like to make it clear that we have a mutual goal with the city to ensure the restored pool is ADA compliant and that it is up to safety codes. We are here today to distinguish the fact that we can accomplish both while preserving the original size of the pool. If not, we will likely lose our chance to accommodate all populations, especially our most vulnerable teens, who so desperately need a safe and healthy outlet for summer fun as they contend with the temptation of social media and electronic gaming versus healthy in-person socialization. Over the years, we understand the diving board and the slide were eliminated for safety, but the pool's significant size has always allowed swimmers of all ages and abilities, including toddlers splashing in the 2-foot section, to adults exercising in the lap lanes, all the way down to teens jumping in at the deep end, and that's where I would be. Which I reiterate is the most significant population and no longer comes to the pool if it were much smaller. The scheduled swim days of our large Cranston Rec summer camp would be affected, as well as those taking swim lessons, and forget the initiative to hold swim meets at Budlong. Excuse me, if the pool size was reduced. Plainly put, downsizing the pool would be an unfortunate compromise to our community's social landscape.
As you may be aware, an overwhelming response was received by almost 2,000 Cranston constituents signing a petition to save our pool by preventing the downsize. This confirms the clear need for proposal resolution. Restoring our pool at its current size would also preserve the historical significance. Built by the Works Progress Administration after the Great Depression in 1940 as the largest of its kind in Rhode Island and one of the largest in the country. Plainly put, this pool puts Cranston on the map. In response to the question, what were your favorite memories of the Budlong Pool on a Cranston Facebook page, Cranston Herald, a resident's simple statement captured the nostalgia. In the 1980s, there were 3 things in Cranston that were signs summer was upon us. First, a visit to Rocky Point, Dell's Lemonade, and your first jump into Budlong Pool. The experience of losing Rocky Point holds a flame to the thought of the pool being cut into 1/3 of its size, and we're pleading with the council to return to option 1 of 3 options presented by the architecture firm's feasibility study in April 2022. This was a study that was commissioned by the mayor that said the cheapest thing to do is to fix the pool that's there, not build a new one, and that it can be done. Which was said to bring the pool and pool house up to code at a cost of up to $2.8 million, leaving room to consider an item from option 2, such as a dog park, to be included in the project on the uninhabited land beside the existing pool next to the baseball fields. With this large community effort and hope to come to a resolution soon, I appreciate your time and consideration in this matter. And this was submitted from a Ward 2 Cranston resident.
Hi, my name is Karen Shore, and I've been a Cranston resident for about 30 years. I raised my daughter here. She took swim lessons at the Budlong Pool, and I think we all know how important it is that people learn to swim. There's so many unfortunate deaths among people who don't know how to swim. Also, I want families now that maybe are choosing Cranston or considering Cranston to have the same opportunities that my family had. And the Budlong Pool is a very huge asset. The other point I wanted to make is that
Just wait till I go by.
And speak right into it.
I also think it's a matter of equity. Not everyone even has an automobile, and I know that there's a possibility of taking a bus to the beach, but who would want to do that? So I mean, the pool is just really important, and it's good for like just an afternoon. You're not committing a whole day. It's just really important for our families, and obviously climate change is here to stay. It's only going to get hotter, and it's really important that we get the pool back
to its glory by next summer. Thank you.
Hello, everybody. My name is Harrison Tuttle. I am the president of Black Lives Matter Rhode Island Political Action Committee. Most importantly, I am a lifelong resident of Cranston, both on the western side of the city and on the eastern side of the city. So it gives me a perspective as to the different types of kids I went to school with and the different types of people in my neighborhood. And as someone who participated in Cranston's Parks and Rec program, and as someone who enjoyed being cooled off by the pool at least 2 days a week, I understood the value of community. The same value that over 2,000 residents who signed on to this petition has spoken, the same folks who have spoken behind me today. And it speaks to the diversity of our city, but most importantly, the diversity of this very area on the eastern side of the city. And so when we talk about access to activities for our youth, when we talk about access to the pool itself, it's also important to recognize that many folks in this area don't have pools in their backyards. If you look at my friends in the western side of the city, they have pools, but they don't have any pools over here, or at least not a majority of them. And so this is the only place for them to go and swim. This is the only place for them to commune sometimes, if it's not the basketball courts at Doric Park, for example, in which I know my councilwoman Aniece Germain has been fighting to get lights on, which still hasn't happened. So there are a lot of things over in this part of the city that need to be addressed, such as housing, such as access to be able to use the pool. And it's just also important with a huge emphasis on a crime scare. You know what prevents crimes for our youth? Giving them something to do. And giving them something to do is opening that Budlong Pool back up. Thank you so much.
Hi, my name is Dan Pyrus. I'm 82 years old. I was born and have lived in the city all of my life. Most of my early years were spent walking or taking a bike to the Cranston Pool. I don't do that anymore. However, I have many friends who invite me to their pools, and I even have a house near the ocean in South Kingstown. However, it's important for me to speak for all the people who, like myself, whose parents worked during the day and didn't have the opportunity to go to the beach. We need to do this for this entire community. Thank you.
I just remembered that I wanted to say something before and I forgot to say it. And I think you all agree with me. No one wants to put a Band-Aid on that pool. No. We want to fix it and renovate it and make it usable, not a Band-Aid. I know that term has been used many times at council meetings about putting a Band-Aid on it. No one wants to put a Band-Aid on it. We want it fixed. Thank you.
I just want to say real quickly, my name is Karen Rosenberg, and I'm part of a little, fairly new grassroots organization that really believes in government accountability and transparency and the ability of people in the community to get together and make sure that your needs and wants are addressed. So we are just so delighted that we met some people who were upset about this pool and were frustrated. They went to city council meetings, they spoke again and again and again, and they just got a stone wall. And we said, we can do this. We just have to get together as a community. So this exercise has been a community building exercise. This is how you get your voices heard. Get together, show up, tell the mayor, tell the administration what you want, and they will understand that if they do not listen to the people, and the people clearly want this pool back. Nobody we talk to, rarely does anybody say, oh, I'd love a much smaller pool. So they need to hear what you're saying, and this is how we get them to listen. And you know what? If they don't, there's elections coming around. That's what they need to understand. So thank you so much for coming. And who am I handing it to now? Aniece? We're going to close. Thank you all for being here.
All right, I have the honor to close today. Before I close, I want to say thank you. Thank you for being the engaged citizens. So engage. Thank you for Cranston Forward, Action Network members. Thank you so much for Ward 2, Ward 1, Ward 3, what every ward is represented here. It's not only Ward 2 issue, it's Cranston issue. Yes. So it's not everyone, it's for everybody, it's for all of us. And I said that together we can make change, and that's why we are here today, to make change together. And I want to re-emphasize, as my council friend says, we don't want Band-Aid. We want to fix it, renovate it, restore it. It's a landmark in our Cranston that can be used to attract more tourism in our little city. So we all want the best for our city, for our youth, for our elders, and thank you so much. So before I want to acknowledge, we have some elected officials here with us. Yes, so Rep Andy is here with us today. So thank you, Rep Andy. So and all of you, thank you. We know a former Cranston City Council, citywide, Steve Psycho is here, he was speaking. So thank you for all of you. Let's continue this fight. We are fighting for what is right. We want our Budlong Pool to open next summer. There is no way, the work has to be done. We cannot work during winter. Thank you, and let's continue the fight.
Sorry, one thing I have to remember to do is the president of the city council, Jessica Marino, could not be here today. She wanted to be here with us, and so she sent a very brief statement, and I told her I would read it, so I would be very remiss if I let you run away before I did that. She said, "The council, as a representative body of our community, has already allocated up to $4 million in ARPA funds to repair or replace the pool to get it operational as soon as possible and for the least possible cost to serve the community in a similar way as we did in the past. Now we just need this to happen soon." So, thank you. Oh, plus, I want to remind everybody, there's a city council meeting tonight. The Budlong Pool is always on the agenda. Councilor Germain has it on permanent agenda status. That means that people can come and they can give a public comment, and that happens towards the beginning of the meeting. We encourage people to turn out tonight and to keep on turning out until our voices are heard.
What time?
At 7 o'clock. It starts at 7 o'clock. So thank you everybody for coming.